Who wants to pod? Who wants to cast?
What's this?
That's a reference to a Cat Dog episode from the 90s. The show Cat Dog on Nickelodeon. There was an episode where Cat actually sings a song and where he says, "Who wants to rock? Who wants to roll?"
Okay, well, I don't remember the 90s, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like one of those rare people that I do remember the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a 90s kid. I'm actually a 90s kid, and I'm a punk rock kind of guy.
Okay, that's great to know.
You're not, so let me just... Didn't know my co-host was not a 90s baby. And then I... Boom! And then I Cat Dog. And then I Mighty Ducks. And then I The Show Doug. And then I Slime. You know, Slime actually...
This is all very US specific, I have to say.
What did you have in the 90s?
Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, pass. No, I don't know what that is. Mr. Blobby. That sounds like a neighbor of yours.
I wish.
Mr. Blobby.
Oh, I wish. Am I right, guys?
Everyone always thought Mr. Blobby could be their neighbor. He was nice like a neighbor. No, we didn't have Mr. Blobby. Okay.
Oh, he was a big pink inflatable kind of blob man with yellow spots. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked him.
All right. I was going to say that all these insufferable little dastardly tweens think that slime was invented in the fucking, I don't know, like a few years ago or some shit. But I'll have you know that we had a product that was actually sold in stores called GAC. Have you heard of it?
Well, no, because again, GAC was the American thing to call it. I think we just called it... I think we called it Silly Putty.
It was not Silly Putty. Silly Putty was a different thing here.
I don't know.
Okay.
We had stuff that was slime that came in tubs, yeah, but we didn't call it. I don't know what we called it.
I'm gonna put a picture of it here, I guess, right, for the YouTube channel. This was GAC. Okay.
I don't get to see the picture.
We paid for this. Just Google GAC. I'm not gonna send it to you.
Send me the pic. Email me.
No, absolutely, I won't. So we had this shit.
An attachment.
We had this shit, and it was slime. It was just slime. And
this is Nickelodeon branded slime.
You did look it up.
Yeah.
And you knew how to spell it? GAK?
Yes.
Odd that you didn't have it and just assumed that was how it was spelled.
You've told me about it before.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take it away now. There we go. Go to allspacebetween.com if you want to see a picture of what I was at least just looking at. Even though I'm like, I'll just find like a whole new picture of GAC that's more representative when I actually do the editing. Editor Mitch, remember to put in good pic of GAC.
The good pic of GAC.
We had GAC and it was slime.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. And,
that's true.
And you had Silly Putty?
I think.
Silly Putty's not slime.
I don't remember. I know we had stuff that was slime that came in a tub, and I know that I got it out of the tub and I said, let's throw it at the ceiling and see how long it takes to come down again, and it didn't come down again. And then there was a blue glittery blob on my mum's ceiling for literally about 10 years.
10 years?
She was pissed.
What?
We got most of it off, but there was a residue.
Oh, I thought you guys just never tried
oil.
For a decade.
No, we tried. She was so mad.
That's so
then
funny.
It was just there until next time we painted the fucking ceiling. It didn't come down.
That's that's so funny. That's like when during the old Airheads commercials, the candy Airheads, we made you try it at some point.
You did make me try it.
Yeah, so the old advertisements in the US for the candy Airheads was like these things bouncing around everywhere. They were shown as being so stretchy and malleable, and then these kids were just like rolling them in balls and throwing them, and they were going like super balls around the room, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that was so cool. So I got an Airheads, and I rolled it up into a ball, and I threw it on the ground. It just sounded like a rock hitting the sidewalk. It just stuck to it. So why would they lie about this?
Oh, now my Airheads has ground dirt on it.
Yeah, now I can't eat it.
I mean, I shouldn't eat it.
Flubber. Yeah, now I shouldn't eat it. That's what I said. Now Mom says I shouldn't eat it. There was also this stuff called Floam, which was basically just slime, but it was part foam. There was like foam beads in it. It was called Flum.
They have that again.
Do they?
Now on the ASMR channel?
Oh, Flum is a thing.
Yeah, they don't call it that though. They call it like they call it something like somatic slime or something like not somatic because that's not what that means. But like special ASMR slime. It's just got little foam beads in.
Interesting.
Yes.
Actually, that reminds me. I did want to say, welcome to All the Space Between. My name is Mitch.
Oh,
yeah, we should.
I
probably,
did forget that. I forgot we were doing a pod.
Yeah.
I forgot that we were doing a podcast. That's the thing. I'm your beautiful and talented co-host,
and
Billy Blossom.
Short.
Oh, and short.
You do look beautiful today.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely stunning.
I wish that just one time we would record the podcast at a time when it is the afternoon for me.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So that I could, like, if everyone's listening, I'd like them to imagine me kind of, radiant afternoon sunlight glow.
Yeah, it looks like there's a fan on kind of in front of you off frame.
Yeah.
Constantly. It's blowing.
You know, like people on Twitter like to post those pictures of like their face in the sunshine and they're like usually green eyes are like really like,
yeah, they're just popping.
Yeah.
And it like makes just like a white person look bronze. That's what they
Yeah,
that's why they do it.
And they look so dewy and beautiful. Like imagine me looking like that. And don't imagine me at 3 a.m. lit by the pallid blue light of my computer screen.
No makeup, dark circles, tits out.
Tits are not out.
All your piercings are out for some reason. Your hair's up in a side bun. Your hair's up in a side ponytail.
A sloppy side ponytail. Yeah. No, please imagine me as I wish to be and not as I am. Yeah.
We've talked about this on the show before, but people who are really into skincare just look wet to me. Yeah. They just look wet. Yeah. And
that's the fashion.
I want to be into skincare and stuff, but just not that kind.
No.
Like I recently started doing like eye stuff, and I don't just mean wearing eyeliner again. I mean like I'm doing like preventative eye stuff. I'm putting on like eye cream and stuff. And I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think I look better even. I think I look better because I feel better. How about that?
I think that's true. Yes.
And I love it. I'll do it forever. But I don't want to accidentally slip and fall and then just like become one of those people who's so into skincare that I just look like wet all the time.
Yeah, they just look like they came like out of the Matrix goop.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want that. That's not good to me. It's actually quite bad to me.
I like to have a slimy little boyfriend.
That might be fun. Just me covered in gack. How about that?
Clear gack on the face. Beautiful.
That's not that kind of podcast. Yeah, you keep forgetting we're recording. We're actually
what is that kind of podcast?
That's our private podcast. That's just like our private convo, actually. Yeah, it's just like when like you, me, and Brooke talk, and then you say inappropriate things to me for some reason in a Discord call at 3 a.m. This is an email reading pod experience. It's where we take your emails every single week and we eat them. We eat them. We read them. We print them out.
Sorry, Mitch is hungry.
Chew them up. Yeah. And then I try and guess what you said based off of how it tasted. We read them, we go through them, and we try our darnest to give the best advice possible, or just talk about whatever you wanted us to talk about in the email. We have 3 questions on the show. Probably won't get to all of them because we're already talking about GAC for like forever. But you want to jump right into it, or do we have any plugs?
Yeah, well,
do we have anything? I don't think we have any plugs. Oh, my album just came out.
Apart from you, you did just have an album come out like fucking 2 days ago, I guess. But if you're over it already, then that's fine.
No, if you missed the first wave. If you're not a part of the first wave.
Yeah, that is your usual advertising technique. You'll make one post and then just never ever talk about it again.
Zach is particularly asking I stopping me from doing that. Yeah. My album is out. The new Flat Sound album is out on a TV that no one saw. It's an EP, 6 songs, no long intros or outros. Every song is a song, so 6 songs long. Not too bad for an EP. I got more stuff coming out this year, but if you just want to hear this EP, I think it's very special. I like this EP a lot, and you can listen to it by just searching Flat Sound anywhere where like music is streamed. And check it out anytime, anywhere on Spotify, on Apple Music. It's on my YouTube channel. It's pretty hard to miss at this point. It's even on my website.
I put it everywhere I can.
If you prefer to listen to it like that on a TV that no one saw, I love the EP. You actually did the artwork for it.
I did. Well, we did, really. I did the photography
artwork,
for it, and then we did the artwork for it.
Well, the artwork is all photography. There's like, yeah, I cut it out. I did the little collage.
We both did the putting it together elements. But yeah, it's my photography, and I'm very glad that you used it because it's a beautiful release.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love how it came out. I love the cover. I love everything. And it is going to be on vinyl, but unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, we have to wait a little bit longer than we had planned by a few months. So I don't have any vinyl for sale right now, but it's fine. You know, when it comes out, I'm just going to be talking about the album again. But if you would like to win a test pressing of it, because look, it's all done. Like, the artwork's done. It's been turned in. I approved of everything, and I even got the test presses in the mail and approved of those too. So I got some test presses, and I'm willing to just give them away. I don't usually give away test presses.
No, you don't. You usually hang on to them.
I hang on to them. I like them. But I'm giving away a signed test pressing. So if you're a little vinyl head, that's what they call a record head, a little record freak, then all you got to do to enter to win is just you go to flatsound.com/mailing-list. That's dumb URL. Just go to flatsound.com .org. What am I doing? So Flatsound, just go to my website, flatsound.org, and go to the About page to find a link to the mailing list, or you can manually type it in by just going to flatsound.org/mailing-list, or go to my Instagram right now because this is what I'm talking about. I'm doing a giveaway for the signed test pressing, and the only thing you have to do is sign up to my mailing list. That's it. Yep. If you have an email,
and then you're just going to pick an email that person, be like, give me your address.
That's it. I'm going to pick an email. Yep. I'm going to email that person, and I'm just going to be like, yo, give me your address. God.
Simply going to pick the person who has the hottest name. That's how,
So if you have a hot name, pick it.
Yeah.
And then and then there's sort of this in between where I say, send me your best selfie this week. Not from a few years ago. I'm talking about you need to be currently hot to get this thing. I'm going to pick an email at random. I'm going to cross my fingers you live in the United States. You probably won't. It'll just be some person from Ecuador that won.
I'll probably just have to spend $50 on shipping.
It'll literally send me like $45 to... Yeah. I'll be spending like $45.
I'll be in the hole.
New album is out. I'm doing a giveaway. Thank you everybody so much for listening to the album thus far and for giving me feedback. And if you haven't yet, listen to it and tell me what you thought. Would love to hear it.
Can I give you like... You know, like when they advertise like movies on the radio, and then there's like pull quotes, and they're like, "The blockbuster of the summer."
Yeah, first. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Can I give you a pull quote?
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Very moving. Straight in the heart.
Wow, who said that?
My mom.
Your mom said that?
Literally about 3 hours ago, like just before we got in the call. What? Yeah.
Well, tell her I said thank you.
She was listening to it.
Aww.
And she also said, are you singing on the first, like, am I Billy singing on the first one? I was like, no, that's just Mitch's falsetto. And she was like, wow, he did that himself.
Yeah, tell her I have a beautiful falsetto.
She said it's very beautiful.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, I've actually got that about Flat Sound a whole lot in the past. Or people just like, who's singing with you on this track?
Yeah.
There's a girl there. And I was like, oh, that sound familiar? And I bust out a beautiful falsetto.
I love the idea of you just talking in your falsetto voice. It's so funny to me.
Why not?
Why don't you talk to me in that voice?
It's really straining to me. It's hard for me to do that.
Yeah. But she was like, wow, it's very beautiful. And I was like, yeah, it's just been mastered, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, what's mastered? And I said, I don't have time to get into that.
Oh, tell her to message me about it. I'll get right into it. Yeah, so you got the mixing stage, which is really important. But mastering is, if when you think about the loudness wars in particular...
Enough.
Okay. We need to get into the questions or we won't get to any of them. I could just
That would be funny of us. I think that would be funny of us after doing an episode last week where we answered like 40 questions and one before that where we answered one.
To go back to answering like 1.5 on this one.
Even it out.
we could do one where we like read the question for the third one but don't answer it and be like, next week we'll answer this question. So leave them on a little...
next time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Just a little cliffhanger, a little, does this happen? find out next time on Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z type of.
Yeah, and then we'll start the next episode being like previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Boom.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That I'd love to do anything to make this podcast even more unlistenable than it is. You know?
Yeah.
We need to get in the first question though.
Let's go.
And I believe it's me reading it. Mm-hmm. Ah, yes. This little one. So this one is sent to us in our email. And our email is...
Oh, me?
Yeah,
All
I'm
the
asking-
space
I'm
in
asking.
between at gmail.com.
Good. Sorry I threw that to you such last minute. All the space in between at gmail.com. Send us an email sometime. This email is just titled, Mitch, my CD collection won't be as sexy if it only has sleep in it. And they go, hi, Billy and Mitch. The proper way to put it because it's in alphabetical order. I don't agree with that. Yo, Mitch, what do you have against CDs? As the title said, my collection can't be as incredibly hot, if you will, if it only has sleep in it. Not that Sleep is a bad album, but I would buy them. All right, that's my email. Have a good day. Sincerely, this person's name. So, very straightforward. Why don't I make CDs? I'm gonna actually.
Why do you not do CDs?
I'm gonna pass that question off to you. Why don't you buy CDs?
Why don't I buy CDs?
Yeah,
I have
because
a
I think
fucking
it's
CD player.
it's the same answer both ways, right? Because
Yeah.
CDs are archaic.
Yeah, of course they are.
They're redundant.
No, if you're gonna collect any physical medium, why would you pick CDs? Like, I guess you can put them in your car.
You can put them in your car, but you at this point, I mean, come on, you can link your fucking it's
put
much cooler to
an
me to
aux cord
put a
in
tape
there.
in your car.
Yeah. Or what's the ultimate coolest thing is when your car has a tape player and you get one of those fake tapes that has an
for
aux
sure.
cord coming out.
I
of it.
wish I knew how those worked.
So
But
confusing.
like
Yeah,
an
I don't
X
get
had
it.
one, and it was just like a CD with a cable coming out of it. You plugged into your phone, and you're like, okay,
All right,
and that just
fine.
works.
Yeah.
But there's no fucking. What's it reading? How is it reading?
I
something?
don't know. I don't
I
fucking
have no idea how that works, but
That's a piece
that
of
is the
magic.
ultimate cool.
Yeah.
And they like sound like shit. Ugh, they're so cool.
But I refuse to throw away CDs, so I've still got a very big box of CDs under my bed. But I've not bought a new one in about, must be 10 years. I think the last new CD I bought was a Sigur Rós one
Wow, good choice.
when I was about 18, so like maybe like 10 years ago. Just
Yeah.
about, yeah. And I maybe played it like 5 times before I was just like, the internet exists now. I think
Right.
my hi-fi stopped working and I was like, I'm not going to buy a new one.
Right. CDs are almost old enough for me to consider them cool again.
Yeah.
And to the person listening, I'm not saying I'll never do it. I might do it soon even. You know, I'm chaotic. But like, they just sell like shit.
They sell, yeah,
They
because they're
sell
not.
so bad.
Yeah, then I'm sure they sell fine if you want to like. If you were someone who were like, yeah, put my CD in fucking CD shops, put it on Amazon for them to like distribute and stuff like that, because I think they're pretty cheap to make, but they're also pretty cheap to sell.
Yeah.
So like, not as cheap as a tape though, like, so it's like in the middle. But like, you'd have to sell so many of them, I feel like, to make it worth it. And if it's just you selling them in your shop, it's like, why am I doing this for like the 2 people a year that want to buy this fucking CD?
People will buy a CD. Like seriously, like I'll sell maybe. I still have sleep CDs in the shop, and I will sell maybe one a month.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I'll move a lot of records. You know, but
Yeah,
CDs will sell about one a month, and I'm not saying that as some ploy to get people to purchase CDs. They're like annoying to send out. Like I don't even really like. I give so many away for free. I give so many sleep CDs away for free. And in fact, it's funny you should bring up Amazon because the reason that I have so many sleep CDs from years ago is because I was looking into FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. Is that what it is? And so I wanted to have like something flat sound related in the flat sound. I'm sorry, on Amazon years ago. And I wanted it to be one of those things that's just like fulfilled by somebody else. If you wanted a sleep CD, you can get it with like Prime shipping, in 2 days.
Yeah.
And it would just be a sleep CD that said like Prime next to it. And I thought that would be like a cool way to like expand the market or just make it more convenient for fans. It was years ago.
Before it was common knowledge that Amazon's just totally garbage, by the way.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I ended up not doing it, I bought thousands of CDs.
Yeah.
Because I was going to send them all to Amazon. I was just going to have them chill there. And then after I went up to all the trouble to make them, and then I actually got them in the mail, I really started like looking to Amazon and was like, I don't want to fucking have my thing available on Amazon. What do I think? So I'm stuck with them. I paid for them, and I'm stuck with them.
Now I have all of these. Yeah.
Now I have all of them, and they're still like, I still have like 3 boxes of them left.
Yeah, we had to, when we moved house, we didn't even take all of them with us because there was like a few boxes that were like kind of half full, and we were like, oh, we've already loaded up like fucking 13 boxes of CDs. I'm just gonna leave these ones here.
Yeah. Just fucking, I don't know, a raccoon.
Yeah, we had to move them with you, and now they're just like, they're just taking up space, man.
I'm like so uncaring with them that like I wanted to like see the inside of it because I was like, doesn't it have this photo on the inside? And I was like talking to a friend, and to find out, I just opened a new one. I just opened a new one and saw it and was like, yeah, cool. And I probably threw it away after it, It's so, I don't know what the fuck to do with them.
So, yeah, that's why we don't do CDs.
I don't really do CDs. But also, I just got a vinyl in the mail. It's Cassie Atone for the Painfully Alone record, and it came with a little CD sampler.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. And it was really, really cool. But I was like, I have no way to play it.
Right, because like computers don't even have a disk drive anymore.
Computers don't have disk drives anymore, and that would be like the only way I could do that. Maybe I could like if Blu-ray player.
If you had like even your gaming laptop doesn't have a disk thing, right?
No, it doesn't. You would think it does.
Like
it's really
if
thick,
you had a PS4 or an Xbox or something, I guess those can play CDs. So it'd be funny if they couldn't.
Yeah, there's no way that I could actually play that, and I'll never know what's on it.
No.
But I feel the same way kind of, sometimes when I'll send somebody like a free, like, CD, I guess, but a tape or a vinyl especially, Yeah. I've been sending out a lot of free copies of the new Wishing EP, or the newest Wishing EP.
Yeah.
Because those recently got here, and I've been just saying I'm sorry to a lot of people because my house keeps flooding, and orders keep on having to be late. So I've been giving away that a lot, and I hope this person can play a vinyl. And if they can't, but at least that one's kind of cool to own. CDs aren't that cool for me to own anymore.
No, they're not. They're not like a cool variant. Like, to make it cool, I feel like you need to put a lot of like, you need to have like a lyric booklet and
something
like, a bunch
really
of
involved
extra stuff, and then it makes it too expensive to kind of be worth it. And,
and then too much work goes into them for something that isn't going to sell.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All of those reasons, soz.
I've kind of embraced the idea that we've like moved digital, and any kind of physical thing we do is like more dated than a CD, and it makes sense because at least like vinyl and cassette and stuff, at least that's analog, Yeah. But you're either listening to the digital files online, or you're asking me to sell you something that holds the digital files. Yeah. And I'm just kind of, it's not that cool to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the quality is higher, if you were like an audiophile or something. But if you were truly an if you were truly an audiophile, you can download the stuff on Bandcamp and get them in a lossless format. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. For me, CDs just don't make sense.
But what if I want it in a lossless format in my car, which doesn't have an aux cord?
You burn your own CD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you burn your own CD at that point.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, shall we move on to the next question?
Yeah, I'm reading the next one too, right? Because it's just like super short.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? This one is just called Shoes and Stuff. And it goes, howdy, pickle picking predicament podcast hosts. So I've been thinking about Spotify and shoes recently. Any thoughts? Much love. Sent via email app. Let's just explain this really quick. During our last episode, we were like, send us just an email that just says, I don't know, fucking shoes or something, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So we got multiple people who were just giving us one word like shoes, Hey, I've just been thinking about shoes recently in Spotify.
We did actually get
was like, I'd love to talk about
a couple
Spotify.
of times, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hang on, let me reset my old audio. You were breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you particularly were like, I don't know, fucking shoes. And now we have to think of something to say. We were kind of bluffing, but Spotify, you've certainly got a lot to say about that.
I've got a lot to say about Spotify, and I'm trying to keep it as concise as possible after we talk about shoes.
Okay. All right. Well, thoughts?
I don't wear them often.
You don't?
No, I'm always walking
even
around.
when you do, I think it's a fucking push to call the things that you put on your feet shoes.
Excuse you, I have some high tops that I wear sometimes.
They're more like little bandages that you wrap around your
Okay,
soles.
you're talking about the Toms that
I'm
I wear
talking
around
about the
around when I
Toms.
like. Well,
Yes.
yeah, because I'm just like going to the backyard or something. I'm not gonna strap up my fucking high tops, get my feet all uncomfortable for what? For picking a lemon?
Picking a giant lemon?
Oh
No.
man, okay, so just last night I picked the biggest lemon. I'm gonna put a picture of that right here because I posted it in the Discord. Look at this lemon, everyone. How fucking big that is. I picked that from a tree in my backyard. And I'm gonna show the other picture right here because you can't really tell the sheer scale of it. So here it is next to a paper towel holder.
Yep. Look
There
at
you
that
go.
thing.
That's enormous. I'm gonna take it away right now again. Again, go to allthespacebetween.com if you want to see that, or look at our YouTube video on YouTube, and that'll include the image there if you want to listen to the podcast there, youtube.com/allthespacebetween. It's a big lemon.
It's a huge lemon. You can just use your imagination if you can't bother to switch
Just
platforms.
imagine a
That's
big
valid.
lemon.
Just imagine it's
Yeah.
a lemon, but it's like very fucking big.
I'm like palming this thing
Yeah.
like a softball, like a giant
Yeah.
softball.
Yeah,
A giant lopsided
it's
softball.
huge. I can't believe that grew in your backyard.
There's a freaky backyard
What's in
back
the
there.
soil there?
Other freak lemons have just dropped there and put their weird DNA. Also, I've been pissing under that tree for a few years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, radioactive.
Radioactive kind of Gatorade urine that I have.
It's all the vitamins coming out. Go straight into that lemon. And then
Just that
now
one
gonna
lemon,
eat.
yeah. I squeeze it onto my meal and it just putrid piss smell from the
So
inside of
many
a lemon.
vitamins.
But lots of vitamins, yeah. Okay. Shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
You wear cute boots.
I wear a pair of Dr. Martens
Mm-hmm.
black boots, 12i, I believe, and that's all I wear. That's the only things that I wear. They're my only shoes.
It's true.
Actually, that's a lie. I got one other pair of shoes that's a pair of creepers that I'll wear for formal occasions.
What are creepers?
They're the. Let me hold it up. Just hold up my shoe. These are my creepers.
Oh, those are creepy.
They're
Those
the
make
ones
you
with like
those
the
make you look
big
creepy.
the big flat sole.
No, you're not describing those right. Those are just like normal kind of looking trainers that a creepy guy would wear.
No,
Yeah,
don't tell
they're
people
kind of,
that.
They're like running shoes, but
No,
when you're
they're-
kind of running after women.
No, they're goth and cool.
Yeah, they are very goth and cool actually. They're
Yeah.
like big platform shoes. They're
Yeah, well, I
Mm.
I specifically wanted them so I could wear them to shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, shit, with those shoes, you might actually be 5'5".
Well, no, I'm like 5'3" in them, which means like
Jesus.
I can just well, at least I'm eye level with the top of people's heads, so it's like my view's only half obscured instead of just looking at people's backs, you know?
Well, you're so short currently that even if you manage to get to the front row, you're mostly looking at the stage. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
you're like eye level
it's-
with the goddamn stage.
It sucks.
It's creepy what you do because what you're doing is it's a lot of upskirt kind of action that you're getting.
Oh my
there,
god.
Which I think is
Stop
why they call them
talking.
creepers.
No.
I'm actually getting a lot of messages in the Discord right now that people are like, anyone notice that Billy's been acting creepy lately?
Anyone been noticing that Billy's kind of a creep? Yeah.
Just as far as people
kind of
go.
a weirdo.
Yeah, she's like a weirdo creep to me.
What the hell is she doing here?
I kick you from my Discord for being a creep. Sorry, hon, you're creeping people out. Me included.
So I have two pairs of boots. I've got my creepers and I've got my docks. And my docks, I got them in like 2015, so they're about five years old now or so.
Yeah.
They're covered in holes. They smell so bad. The inner soles have pretty much completely eroded away.
Wait. They
There's
smell
holes in the
bad.
bottom and the
Hold on.
top.
Hold on.
Yeah.
They smell bad like they smell like feet.
They smell like boots. They're leather.
Ew,
So-
wait, they're real leather?
They're real leather, yeah.
You monster.
Well, because someone bought them for me.
Don't they make vegan
Someone.
dogs?
Christopher bought them for me.
Christopher
back
the
in, like-
animal. Okay, I want to say this on record. The animal hater.
Not the animal.
Christopher,
They
aka, works at fucking. He actually Chris's job at PETA is to kill the animals and to put them in freezers. Did you know that? It's not. No one really knows that about Chris your ex, but
He's an animal killer at PETA.
yeah.
No.
He puts up a front, of course. He walks into PETA, everyone thinks, oh, Chris is so nice and cool. He goes there, just starts strangling kittens and putting them in freezers.
Oh my god.
Someone at PETA has to do it.
Someone has to stop them.
I'm not saying he likes it. I'm saying he does it for money.
Oh my god. And the thrill.
Well, yeah, he gets off on it. It's not that type of podcast, but yeah, he's about yay big and rock hard.
Stop talking
as he's strangling
about
a kitten.
Him now. Anyway, listen, it was like 2015
Chris
or
is
so.
on Tinder saying he will murder a pussy, and he means it like
Stop!
literally.
Stop!
Okay, that was my last one. Also, I would also like to go on record and say I really like Chris a lot. I think he's like a really good guy. Go on.
He's really the nicest person I've ever met.
He's very nice. He's really, really nice, and a very, very like, he's really talented at what he does too. Nobody can strangle a kitten like Chris.
Oh my god!
He's a wonderful
kill
photographer.
You. I'm gonna reach through the screen and strangle you.
Go on. I'm sorry.
It was like 2015, so I think I was eating mostly vegan, but I was not buying I wasn't checking my like makeup or my products or whatever, and my old pair of Docs were leather that I'd also had for like 5 years at that point, and they were covered in holes by that point. So as just a really nice thing to do for me, he just bought me a new pair of the same shoes that I had, which was very nice.
It is.
But they were leather. But at that point, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, well, probably if I'd bought them, I probably would have got the vegan ones, but you bought them, so I'm going to take them. Like,
no, I'm completely on the same page. Like, when something, especially as a gift like that, you just accept the gift, you know? Like, it wasn't like a mink coat, you know? It was fucking, they're Docs, you know? Who cares?
Yeah, I was like, you bought them. And I was not like heavily into like everything I had being vegan back then. It was more just a food thing. So, but I have certainly got as much wear out of them as I possibly fucking can.
Yeah.
Because that is something that I very much... I will use something till it's literally unusable. And a lot of people would have said these boots were unusable at least 6 months to a year ago.
Most people, yeah.
But what really, really sealed the deal is that last week I was walking, I was taking a little hike, and I got trapped on one side of a river, and I had to cross the river using a series of slippery, precarious stones, and I fell in.
I saw the footage.
Boots first.
I saw the footage. Yeah.
And
it
now...
was you slipping and Vex laughing. It was really cute.
Yeah. And now my boots smell not only like feet, but like damp feet. Like,
Ew.
all the time. Even though they've dried now, they still smell like damp feet. So, like...
Gross. Very, very gross.
I'm going to finally get some new ones, I think.
We're finally going to get some new ones. What do you want? I'm on the website now.
I want shoes from vegetarianshoes.co.uk.
Oh, really?
Not a sponsor, but that's what I want.
So you don't want another pair of Docs, huh?
No, because even though Docs do a vegan doc, Vegetarian Shoes are like a little company that started up like in like the early 90s. That's like, you know, they're a vegan shoe company, but from before vegan was even a word.
Interesting.
They're just like a little independent company. I'm just like, I'd rather just give them my money, you know. They've been doing it a long time. And their shoes are cool.
It'd be funny if they were actually just like vegetarian shoes. Like, yeah, it's not leather, but there's milk in them, you know? Like,
the soles are actually made of eggs.
Yeah, they're cheese and then soles, yeah. What the fuck? That's so funny.
They're pescatarian, actually, yeah.
And my laces are made of eel, gluten-free. Actually. Yeah. My laces are eel, my soles are cheese.
But there's no beef. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, there's no actual meat in it. A pescatarian shoe is so funny. A pescatarian boot.
No, what could possibly make it that?
That's so stupid. Okay. I don't have much to say about shoes. I could squeeze something wear them. Out, but yeah,
you never wear them, and that's why you got a palm frond in your foot.
Moving on to Spotify. I'm gonna try and keep this as quick as possible, and then even then, we might not even. What's our time?
Say 5 minutes.
We'll see. I don't want to go on a full Spotify rant right now. All I'm just going to say and admit to everyone, even though you already know this, I'm one of those rare musicians who's actually very pro Spotify.
Yeah.
It's the most unpopular opinion to have today.
It's not popular.
Oh, it's incredibly unpopular. It's so unpopular. And believe I'm not sticking. I would never stick up for any billionaire out there, right? I almost said I'm down with billionaires. No, that means I'm like for them. No, I'm like I'm chanting down with billionaires. Like, I don't think they should exist. I think that at a certain point you should make too much money and then it spills into society, and then that's just how it works. And I think that our tax should go to it's very. I'm not trying to stick up for any billionaire right now. I'm just saying everyone who says that we deserve a penny a stream doesn't understand how Spotify is paying you. And I get many comments. I see many comments online from people that I look up to. That it's just like, they're not paying us fairly. Compared to what? And why just Spotify? Compared to what and why just Spotify? Because the unfortunate truth is that when Spotify released that thing recently where they're like, here's a full breakdown of how you get paid, because we want to be fully transparent. They didn't do a great job. They're a huge company. Of course, they're not going to do a great job. It's a little bit confusing to understand.
For sure.
And there are other articles I can link you to that explain it.
Confusing, actually, but yeah.
that explain it better than that. But once you start fully grasping how it works, I don't get any pleasure from telling you this. It actually all checks out. Everything checks out. The way Spotify pays you, it all checks out. And you can't compare how much they pay you to the top person now, which is Napster. Who uses Napster? Or Tidal or something like that, right? And to explain it in the most layman's terms, the way that it works, and this is completely oversimplified, but the way that it works is that you just have to stop thinking about it as a per stream thing. That per stream amount varies from platform to platform for a reason, and they're not the reasons that you think that they are. And it's not an accurate judge of it's not an accurate mark of what they're actually paying you and all that stuff. It's not that simple. But a kind of a simple way to think about it is that you have to look at the ratio of how many people are on the platform, yes, but also what they charge to be on that platform, whether it's high like Tidal or the amount that Spotify is, but how many people are on the platform, what they're paying to be on that platform, but also the most important thing is how many times those people are streaming compared to other platforms. So Spotify in particular, lots of streams. Lots of people are streaming more on that platform than on other platforms. If you take one random person on Spotify and one random person on Apple Music, the Spotify listener is listening to much more music on average. So one stream can't be a set amount because that would assume that we're just generating money out of nothing. That one stream, if there's so much more streams on that one platform, every time you stream, it's devaluing what that stream is worth. More streams equals less money. And that's not true just for Spotify. It's true for everything. An example would be that YouTube is more popular than Spotify. And you know what? YouTube pays half as much as Spotify. And that is why. That's why. That's why. Apple pays a little bit more than Spotify. They pay a little bit more than Spotify, but they're drastically less popular. Everyone gets
less streams. Yeah. So you don't get paid anymore.
Really, Apple is worse than Spotify. Apple Music is worse than Spotify when it comes to paying artists because when it comes to how many people are streaming they're actually paying artists less than what Spotify does. And it's I mean, like, we could talk about a million things here about how Spotify doesn't actually make money as a company. We could talk about investments. We could talk about how all these things work. But Spotify is a company that has employees and they're running in the... I mean, it was the negative until 2019 where they finally broke even, I think, right?
Yeah, but I don't really know how good of a measure that is because, like, the same can be said for, like, Amazon and Uber and stuff like that. Right. So, like, I don't really know what that means in economic terms, but
it means in the dumbest way possible that there's no money there. There's money being generated there that goes back into the business, and like, especially with the workers at Amazon paying them unfairly. Yes, of course they can pay their workers or at least treat them better, because it's one thing to get paid shit, but then to get treated like shit and be like, no, piss in a bottle or die, fuck you,
Yeah.
But let's go after Amazon for treating their employees badly. Spotify has employees that work for Spotify and they all love it. No one says anything bad about working for Spotify. They like working for Spotify. But musicians are acting like we're employees of Spotify, which is why they started to unionize against Spotify.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. You can't unionize against someone that isn't your employee. You can shout these demands like we want 1 cent per stream. It doesn't make it possible. Currently, 1 cent per stream is not even close to possible. So why are we focusing so much on...
Sorry, yeah. No, I was just going to say the 1 cent per stream thing is just like the scaling issue is the main thing to me that's just like it wouldn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't add up economically. It doesn't, but here's the thing, it doesn't even come close to adding up economically.
Yeah.
Not remotely.
No.
But people think that it does because they say Spotify is valued at this amount and the billionaire CEO is worth this amount. And let's cut all of that up into pieces and you should be able to pay us 1 cent per stream at least.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's just like, because if we were getting paid 1 cent per stream, like, you'd be, I don't know what, you'd be a multimillionaire.
I would be a multimillionaire.
And you're someone who I've never ever met anyone who knows who Flat Sound is.
Flat Sound's not that big.
Like in real life. Oh, hi, Pre-Cat.
That was Noah, by the way.
Oh, I know.
I know.
I just saw the tail go past. Yeah, you're not famous by any stretch. You'd be a millionaire, like a multi-millionaire. Which makes someone like Connor Oberst so rich. And then it makes Ed Sheeran the king of the world, I think.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just the very, very obvious flaw to me. But, yeah, it, as opposed to what other people don't like about it, I mean, in terms of, like, promoting music and getting people to actually listen to it, like regular people, not, not audiophiles who live on Bandcamp, but just regular fucking people, get them into music and get them discovering new bands and not just listening to the same 3 things over and over again. Spotify's very good at that.
It works. Spotify you should utilize Spotify as a stage. It is your stage, but it's up to you to then bring people to that stage and show them what you're performing. And Spotify is great with that, but it's not the... Musicians don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear that. I would never shit on a musician for getting, like they're really excited. They said they got 15,000 plays that year. 15,000 is nothing to sneeze at, man. I'm super, super proud of you, but it's nowhere near enough to be in the same parking lot as the ballpark you need to be in to make any amount of money off of your music, off of just streams. It's and they're gonna hate me for this, but it's an insignificant amount of streams compared to what you need to live off of your stuff. Did you go into art thinking there was money in it? There's no money here. It's art, dude. What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, for the people who there is, it's like, there's usually so much of a team behind that all getting paid a salary. Like on the scale of like indie stuff, like yeah, no, but that isn't like, I feel like, people hear that and they get like immediately discouraged. They're just like, 15,000 is so many, and what, like, I can't make a living off of that? And it's like, no, you can make a living off of that, just not purely off of streams on Spotify. Like, you can turn that into money in other places, though. But like,
I would argue, 15,000 streams a year is not even enough to do that, to sell merch or do anything like that. No, it's not. But like, I don't want to discourage musicians. I'm saying I did it. You can fucking do it. And I'm saying I'm happy with how much I'm getting paid on Spotify, and I think it's enough. Sometimes I think it's too much. With how relevant I am to how much I get paid, I think it's very fair compared to other platforms. One really good example of this is Pandora. Just because you don't use Pandora doesn't mean it doesn't get an immense amount of listeners and plays and stuff. When it comes to how many people are streaming, Pandora, which is treated more like radio, Pandora gets so many streams.
Yeah, it's
so many
crazy.
streams. I don't get streams on there,
No.
but some artists do. Some artists get, and you know, like, and they're usually pop artists or something, but Pandora is kind of for your parents, right? Your parents use Pandora, or the kind of a more normie coworker you like uses Pandora, and lots of people use Pandora. And just based off that scale alone, hey, if Pandora is more popular than Spotify, and across the board it is, when it comes to how many streams they're getting, that's a fact. Pandora is more popular than Spotify. And guess what? They pay less.
Yeah.
They pay less than Spotify and are more popular. Why aren't you upset about that? Why isn't anybody upset about that?
Yeah, it's strange. Like, I never see people, like, rallying against Apple Music or anything either. Like, when it's just...
Apple Music is worse. Look at those billionaires making iPhones and stuff. You know, like, those are just, like... We should be focusing on how to actually give musicians an honest chance at making music and giving them good tips on how to actually do this. And I have many, many, many good tips, but it's just so discouraging when I see these large artists I look up to that just cross their arms and be like, it's pointless. But no, it's not.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm paying rent off this shit. I have a savings account off this shit. You can do it too. If I put it like this, I walk into any grocery store right now and I wave my arms up and down. I go, I'm Flat Sound. I'm Mitch from Flat Sound. Does anyone give a fuck? I'm Flat Sound, blah, blah. I keep saying this over and over again. People, everybody there, maybe one person, if I'm very lucky, will know who the fuck I am. Yeah. I am irrelevant outside of the niche genre that I'm in.
Yeah.
And you can be 1/6 as relevant as Flat Sound and still pay your rent.
Yeah.
You can do that. And just off of Spotify. 1/6. Do you think you can be 1/6 as relevant as my project? If you can, you got it, bro. Like, you have this shit. Especially if you take that and you mix it with merchandise or a Patreon or something, shows, something like that. You got this shit. You can do this shit, but it doesn't come from crossing your arms and saying they don't pay artists when it's not true. It's just a fact. It's not true. Don't get tricked into this thing by some people who say, look at the numbers. They pay less than Apple Music. They pay so little. 0.000 is nothing. I'm saying keep creating art. Keep putting it out there, and don't think you can make a living off your streams. That's a pipe dream for down the road. But for right now, focus on getting a fan base. Focusing on posting every day and bothering people with that shit. Make 3 albums this year. Treat it like a fucking rapper does and just fucking grind. Put an LP, 3 EPs, and a mixtape out in a single year while shooting 6 music videos.
Yeah.
Want this. Because the musicians complaining about it the most are quoting the CEO of Spotify when he's just saying harmless shit. He's just saying stuff like, the music industry has changed today, and which is true. It's always changing. And you can't just get by on, like, you have to be engaging with your audience. You have to be personable. You have to be there. You have to post. You have to do a lot of stuff. And you can't just get by on being a musician that only puts out music once every 3 or 4 years anymore. And everybody folded their arms and complained and go, that's bullshit. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to make music once every 3 or 4 years or more active
once
than
every
that?
3 or 4 years, yeah.
Don't you want to be a working musician? Don't you love this? Most of the people complaining about this shit don't make art. Not really. Not really, man. Like, and that's what's sad, because they're discouraging the people that do. If you're an artist, you feel this in your heart, Spotify is a really important stage for you. But think of it as something that will pay you eventually. It's something that I never dreamed that I would live off of ever. But the pattern will always go. Make music, get some people listening. Maybe some people will buy your stuff on Bandcamp. Maybe you get enough of an audience where you can start playing small shows. Maybe you'll get like enough of an audience where you start grinding your merch and you do merch sales. Maybe you get enough of an audience after that point where you can start a Patreon and you can start your own following, you get your social media numbers up. And then after all of that, maybe one day streams will pay you too.
Yeah.
But if you're not even making money off the other stuff, why did you think you can make money off streaming? It's the last thing on the line.
Yeah, that's what I was that's what I was saying. Like, you know, like play local shows, build a fan base, like, you know, travel around, try and spread like, you know, sell your merch to cover your fucking travel costs and whatever, like, and, you know, eventually, hopefully that like snowballs, you know.
And it can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying before. But yeah, I think one thing that I think about a lot is like, I think that I'm saying I think like,
no, you're fine.
Let me try and collect my sentence in my head first. I think that there's a lot of misplaced aggravation because people are, you know, they're working full-time jobs on like shitty fucking salaries that don't pay their rent on a one bedroom that they share like in a house with 5 other people, and they're like, I've only got like, you know, fucking one day to work on this thing and it feels like pointless because Spotify doesn't pay me and blah blah blah. And then like, you know, they're like, oh, the solution to that is to like get Spotify to pay me more, but it's like the solution to that is universal basic income. Like that's it. We kind of live in a society, but we do live in a society right now that makes it hard for people who are on the breadline to like be creative when you're, you know, working super hard, especially if you live in like a very high priced kind of city, like London or New York or anything like that, you know.
California.
Yeah, the whole of California as a
California.
state. Yeah. You know, mostly all of my family and pretty much all of my friends are broke, and it's harder to be even motivated to do that stuff when you're in that kind of situation, I think. And I don't mean like broke like in the sense that I am, where like, oh yeah, I don't have that much money, but I live at home and you know, you're all right and stuff like that. Like, but I mean like my friends who are working 2 fucking jobs and just have a tiny little apartment that they're like always behind on bills on. Like,
yeah, that's most people I know.
Yeah, so I think universal basic income is a very key component here, and I think that's what like people's focus should be shifted.
That's what
to,
we should be rallying.
Because I think no matter
behind.
what the fuck you're doing, you should be able to, you know, not have to have all this stress attached to it. That's like, if this doesn't fucking work out, I'm not gonna have a roof over my head. I'm not gonna be able to eat or whatever, you know, like. So
universal basic income is this very attainable thing that we've already worked out. We've already figured out. We know that we can have it.
Seems like it.
We just need to. It abso-fucking-lutely. We can like it. And it. I think I was talking to somebody about it on Facebook one time. Somebody, this musician that I knew a long time ago that literally hasn't recorded an album since like 2011 or something.
Yeah.
Was like, Spotify is terrible for artists. I'll die on this hill. And I very politely was like, well, here's the thing, though, to consider is that it's actually quite good. And he's like, no, they don't pay artists. Well, compared to what? When you look at mechanical royalties versus this or that, no, the radio pays way more. Well, the radio actually works in this way. The radio doesn't work like actual streams. So when you compare it to, it's actually quite comparable when you compare to the radio. So that's like a pretty good example. And then the point at the end was, you know, they were like, well, this is why I'm a fan of the concept of universal basic income. If they just paid musicians a fair wage for their work, then yada, yada, yada. And I was just thinking like, right, yeah, no, same. But why do you think it's some like, what's Spotify? Like Swedish? Are they a Swedish company?
I have no idea.
Hey, really quick, this is just Mitch and Billy from the future. I'm editing this thing right now. But I had this important thing to say that I only remembered after my panic attack stopped. But the the point I was going to make here, and I think it's like super, super worth making too, is that when I was having the discussion with the people on Facebook, you know, that person on Facebook who was like, well, this is why I like universal basic income, which again, love the idea, right? We both do. And I was like, it shouldn't be, you know, Spotify, you know, same, but it shouldn't be Spotify's responsibility to some foreign companies. Like, why is it their responsibility? Why are we ganging up on them about not giving it to us just because you decided to become a musician? I think a very important thing, and this is what I was going to say, is that when it comes to universal basic income, or rather, when it comes to paying workers fairly, a livable wage, yada, yada, I can't think of any group of people that deserve it less than musicians. You know? Like, why musicians? We contribute fucking almost nothing to society.
I can think of people who deserve it less. But...
Yes, but I mean, as far as like any job that any of my friends work, coffee shops, banks, fucking driving for these companies, doing all this stuff, pay them more.
Right.
Pay them more. Why are we rallying behind paying musicians more before them?
Right.
They deserve the person at the grocery store, the person working any job. Mm-hmm. Pay them more before us. Come on.
I mean, yeah. The arguably being a musician is not that essential of a worker as we've come to think of it, like in the past year or so.
Yes.
No. Though there are certain people who would disagree with that, but that's their prerogative, you know.
Argue that music is important, art is important, all that stuff.
Well, of course it's important. Of course
I
we
know
think
that it's
music and art
important.
is important. We're both artists. Like, of course we think art is important.
I'm
but...
just saying, compared to like even the person working at a, you know, just like a cashier job at a grocery store.
Yeah.
They're contributing more to society than I am.
Right.
You know? And they should be paid more for it.
In a more immediate way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, ideally, the ideal of universal basic income, I believe, is that it's universal. So hopefully we wouldn't have to create too much of a queuing system.
Yeah, but there's also this big difference too between like universal basic income, meaning that nobody's homeless, everybody gets, you know, kind of a base level of something, and then you can work from there. But also people are really focused right now on the idea of just like paying people more, period.
Yeah.
And in that realm of the discussion, it's the why as a musician do you think it just doesn't, none of it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
None of it. And I really, anyway, back to the actual episode.
Okay, good.
Why do you think it's some just like Europeans, companies, responsibility to give a bunch of American musicians universal basic income? Why? That's not their responsibility at all. That's not the...
Yeah, that's just a bit of a strange take, considering you could say the same thing about like Patreon or something. Like it's a platform, you know, and people make varying amount of money on there. Like a lot of people I know on there just make, you know, like the amount of a tip jar, like, you know, $50 a month or something. Other people...
And then we know some people who are pulling in tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah, we know some people who have just gone crazy successful on there. We know a lot of people who are in the middle, making like, you know, a few hundred, which is like nice and comfy and good to have.
Right, it is super, super comfortable.
So...
I have to let my cat out, hold on. No, get out of here. Get out of here.
He's got something to say.
He's got somewhere to go.
Let him speak. Put him up to the mic.
Yeah, there are varying degrees of success there.
Yeah, but like everyone recognizes kind of like that's a platform and it's up to you to utilize it. And people kind of recognize the same thing even with like YouTube. They're like, oh yeah, if you're trying to be a YouTuber, then people see that as like, well, yeah, I mean, if you're not making enough money, that's just because your videos don't have enough views.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of videos on there on how to even be more successful on here, because they see on there that like you can become a YouTuber and buy a giant fucking house with it. They could pay you, and even then they pay half as much as Spotify.
Yeah.
And that's worth mentioning because people, I know that we produce YouTube videos in a different way, so you're doing a lot more than you're doing multiple a week or something if you're a channel, but also people consume media in a different way on YouTube. If I watch somebody's YouTube video, I've seen it the one time. I don't need to see it again ever.
Watching it again. Yeah.
If people find your song and they like your song, they'll listen to that shit on repeat.
Yeah.
On a platform that pays twice as good as YouTube. You're sitting pretty. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not watching someone's Get Ready With Me like every day for a month, you know?
Right.
Like,
Man.
But yeah, I think gotta direct that less at platforms, more at the government, I suppose.
Directed at the government. All of this, we demand 1 cent per stream. It, you know, like it breaks my heart. You're putting all of this effort into something that will never happen because it can't. Even if they raise how much they pay artists, all they're going to do, like that number at the end of the day comes from how many people are signed up to Spotify Premium, and then we're just splitting up that pie. So charge people more money for Spotify Premium? 1 cent per stream, you but charge them $100 a month or something to be on that platform.
Yeah, I saw someone, a musician that I follow, saying like, oh, the solution to the Spotify thing is here. I've got a great idea. And this person like is fairly into like Marxist socialist kind of stuff from what I can tell. They seem kind of on that side of the fence of things. And they were like, Spotify should tally up how many songs you listen to in a month and then charge you accordingly. So the more music you listen to, the more you'll have to pay.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's great. So like
poor people like have to
me,
listen to less
I'm
music.
gonna just have to cap myself off being like, sorry, I've hit my music limit for the month.
Yeah,
like,
I can't.
That kind of sucks to me.
So now it's
like,
on the... Yeah, now you're just punishing poor people who...
Like, now I can't listen to music on the fucking tube. Like, I've hit my limit. Like, I don't know. Like, that didn't seem good. And I see that kind of stuff coming from, like, again, people who are, like, Marxist socialists and stuff like that. And it's like, that doesn't seem like a good analysis. I don't know.
The language behind talking about Spotify, and particularly only Spotify, I don't know why so many people, like, are hyper-focused on just the one thing when, like, all of these streaming platforms are guilty of this.
Yeah.
And if Google Music, if that's even, you know, a thing anymore, became more popular than Spotify is, I guarantee they'd start paying artists less. That's just how it works.
Yeah, less because there'd be more people on it.
Pandora, like we just said, look at YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just the sheer amount of how many people use Spotify is why they pay less per stream. But it's important to look at, they're actually paying artists more than any other platform. Unless you're like really popping off on Pandora or something.
As the actual lump
as an actual, yeah. So it's
right.
It is irrelevant and inaccurate to look at that as a per stream thing. It's not like it's just not accurate, or it's not the best way to look at how they pay, or how I get paid on that platform even.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people discussing this I've noticed they will have kind of a Marxist socialist attitude about the whole thing, which is fine. I just don't know why they're directing it at Spotify. Like,
yeah, I don't know. And also, I would like, you know, if someone's very well versed in both of those things, I would like you to explain your views to me, perhaps, because I kind of feel like I'm missing a key component sometimes when I talk about this stuff. But yeah, I don't.
I just don't appreciate the language about Spotify as a thing, because I feel like a lot of people. I mean, I just saw a YouTube comment from somebody like talking for me that's like, can we just talk about how artists just like him are getting fucked over by Spotify because yada yada yada, and then they just use buzzwords like wages. Wages is just kind of a buzzword, and then they'll say like unpaid labor about yada yada yada. And these are all very valid things to discuss. But don't
but people
don't
just
use
saying
me
it just
as an example.
Unprompted on your video, and you're like, I'm very fine with them. Actually, they pay me.
I like how they pay me.
Yeah, like
don't use me as an example in this thing I don't agree with.
Yeah. Like, please, you don't need to fucking white knife me in my YouTube comments. Like, okay.
Yeah, that person also like. Their point too is that they're just like, this many people are on the platform and they charge this much for Spotify Premium, which means that there's this much money, you know, to tally up, which already doesn't make sense.
No.
And then they specifically were like, it's just an app. Like, just pay your workers, you know? It's like, it's a company that has employees. It's not just an app.
Yeah, no.
Who do you think develops the app? Or does all the everything? It has employees.
Uh-huh.
There's like a physical office.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fucking... That's funny.
It's not like the CEO is just one developer doing the whole... It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he made a little iPhone game. Well, we said we were going to keep it concise, and what do you know, we didn't.
Oh, man. You got me all wound up. I'm feeling all tight and anxious now talking about it. I hate talking about this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I like it. Other times I'm just... It's just a heaviness in my chest to talk about. I want musicians to do better. And I want them to... And I want young people to focus on the issue at hand.
Yeah, and I don't want people to shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah.
All this effort we're putting into this isn't helping anybody. That sucks.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. It feels counterproductive.
Yeah. Just because you decided you wanted to be a musician doesn't mean you get paid for it automatically.
Yeah.
You know? You gotta do the actual work, and then when you do and you make it past a certain point, you know, this stage is really useful to you.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
When you're talking about like the varying degrees of things, yeah, there are people who make nothing. There are people who make too much. I think I make almost too much, you know? I talk to my therapist about it even sometimes. I feel like it feels like it's undeserved, you know?
Mm-hmm. But in the grand scheme of things, so much less than a lot of people. Most people on the platform. Not most people. A lot of people on the platform.
A lot of people on the platform, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the I don't know. As an artist, you can go to a venue. Some artists play the side stage to 3 people.
Yeah.
Some artists play the main stage for a sold out crowd. It's not the venue's fault, is it? Not really, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good way of putting it.
It's a stage. That's it. And it's a useful one.
Yeah, you gotta kind of do the first bit of bringing the people. Venue might give you some promotion, you know, put your posters up, put your name on the door. But yeah, you gotta mostly bring the people.
Okay. Gonna shake off all that anxiety off of me. This has been All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name has been Billy. Yeah, again, we didn't get to the third question, but what do you know? Maybe we'll do it next week. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Knowing us.
But if you would like to be one of the questions that we possibly go off on a tangent on, or possibly don't even get to, who knows? We would love for you to send us a little email. Send us your little pickle and predicament. Our email address is allthespaceintbetween@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed the show and like your friends to listen to the show, we would love your friends to listen to the show. You just tell them to search All the Space in Between wherever podcasts are found, or you can send them to our little convenient little website that we have that hosts all of our episodes and has all of our links to where they could find more episodes. Our website is allthespaceinbetween.com.
Very good. Very good.
That's it?
Yeah. I'm going to go breathe into a bag.
Cool.
I just feel talking about it makes my chest so it makes me anxious. I'm like checking
what you mean.
my oximeter right now just to be like, am I okay?
Am I fine? I am fine. Okay, good.
I'm going to start a free Spira soon. It's this breathing kind of a biofeedback. Yeah, that's what it was. That I did in the past, and it helped me a whole bunch. And I'm like really excited. I had my like thing over the phone recently, and then it was like really sad because they were like, all right, we're just gonna do like a thing to see if you're eligible. And I was like, well, I did it in the past, and they were just like, yeah, we know. We just need it was years ago. So
like a kind of consultation thing.
Yeah, this little questionnaire to see if I'm broken enough for it. I passed with flying colors. They were like, how many of these apply to you? And like at the end, I was like adding shit, you know?
I've got more if you want to get
really
a
depressing. Yeah. Really, really depressing shit. But yeah, hopefully that'll help this little shaky feeling. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. We appreciate you so very, very much. If you're a musician out there, please, please, please don't give up and don't hesitate to reach out to me in the Discord about this. I love talking about it. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.